11:09. Now, I received a very distressing email overnight from Steve Gibbs on our feedback line, nmitchell@3rw.com.au. His son was playing indoor soccer in Melton, collapsed and died. Young son. Steve Gibbs, good morning. I'm so sorry.
Good morning, Neil.
How old was your son, Steve?
He was 23.
Okay. When did it happen?
It was Monday night. He was just playing soccer and had we don't know why he had some sort of turn and collapsed and stopped breathing. And all of his teammates and the management started to do CPR with him, and they called the ambulance, and we've found out the response time for the ambulance was 16 minutes. And look, I'm just, as a father, and I just think it's too long for people to be in that situation and laying in the middle of anywhere and not breathing for 16 minutes, relying on other people to do CPR. I think the government needs to have a good look at the ambulance response times and fix them up. Stop giving the rhetoric and political speak about response times. When we got to Footscray Hospital, there was maybe 3 or 4 people in the waiting room. It was a quiet night, and the ambulance can't get there to my son. It can't get there until within a few minutes. There's an ambulance station 5 minutes away.
He collapsed at Melton, did he?
Yes.
And the ambulance station is in Melton?
Yes, there's an ambulance station in Melton.
Do you know where the ambulance came from in the end?
The one that I went to the hospital with him had come from Caroline Springs, and I don't even recall how many ambulances were there. I drove down there and I was in the back of the ambulance when he was taken to hospital. I don't want to criticize. It's not the ambulance crews. They do, as they always, they do a really great job. The response times on a quiet night should be a lot quicker than that. I've got 30 years of policing experience, and for a priority 1 job, if I took 16 minutes to get there, my management would be onto me. It's ridiculous, and Mr. Napthing needs to stop thinking about politics. And he's a young bloke who's worked for 6 years, paid all of his taxes, and the first time he wants the government to help him in any way, they can't be timely. They can't give him the dignity of getting there within a reasonable amount of time. I just think, I know we're just small punters in this world. If we were high-profile people, it'd be sorted out in no time. But I just can't let it go by unsaid. It's a disgrace. And they need to stop talking and start acting so that things like this don't happen. People get the proper care and the timely care.
Is there anything I can do to get you some answers, or do you just want to leave it as it is now, or do you want to pursue it? Not you at the moment. You've got enough to cope with, but do you want us to try to follow it through for you?
Yeah, look, anything to put some sort of light on the subject would be great. The last few days, it is a parent's nightmare, and I'm living it. And if the responses were timely and within sort of just reasonable times, and they got the correct care quickly, it would make things a lot easier for parents. It's really hard to put it in words.
No, I understand. I do think that their official code 1 time has to be done within 15 minutes, so they're only a minute outside that, but your point is it should be quicker than 15 minutes. It
should be quicker. It's a quiet night. When I got to the hospital, I walked in, and there was maybe 3 people in the emergency section. You can, because it's 15 minutes. It doesn't. 15 minutes for someone who can't breathe is too long.
Did they have a defibrillator for him at the soccer centre?
Look, the soccer centre did a really, really good job. They had the defibrillator and they did CPR. They were, and you know, I mean, look, I couldn't praise them enough. You know, they did the best they could for my son. But it's, you know, he's a young man, as I said. The first time he wants the government, they let him down.
What was his name, Steve?
It's Matt, yeah.
Matt. What did he do for a living?
He's a carpenter. Yeah, you know, but you know, it's just a double-edged sword. In amongst these things we're trying to deal with, it, we see that we still have to pay for his taxes. You know, he dies, the world still goes on. I understand, but he has to pay his taxes. But the government didn't support him. Their response was average, average in time. And, you know, I think it needs to be looked at. An official line of 15 minutes for medical emergencies is atrocious.
You go and cope with your grief and your family, and we'll ask some questions for you, and we'll get that. We won't disturb you again other than to get the information back to you, okay?
Yeah, look, I appreciate your time, and hopefully somebody does something. You know, get some resources, get some money to them so they can help people. You know, all the ambulance people, that's all they want to do. They want to help and let them do their job. Don't hinder them by not giving them money.
You take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dad.